Hey y'all, so we back, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive back in. So Cassie's continued testimony today, being questioned by the prosecutors. The prosecutors moved on to ask her, when was voyeurism first introduced, and she said it was introduced to their relationship within the first 6 months to a year. And for the people that are unaware, that's fits of rage. He basically went from night to day on her, and that's where all of the abuse started and things of that nature. Cassie is then asked how she would make it through these FOs and what drugs were taking during these FOs. Cassie confirmed that she was on X, Molly, and that powder during the FOs, and that the last one was in 2018. She stated that she could never sleep the weekends that these FOs would go on, and she said they would go on for days at a time. She said that it would be impossible for her to remember all of the FOs because she took all of the drugs in order to put herself in a state where she did not care, it did not matter, and that she would not remember. The government goes to show Cassie an email between herself and Diddy. Within the email, the prosecutor proceeds to read Diddy's portion, and then Cassie reads her portion. They ask her, it says in the email, they asked Cassie, what did she call Diddy? And she said, Pop Pop. And they asked her, why did she call Diddy Pop Pop? And Diddy proceeds to ask her in the email, what did she call her granddaddy? So I'm going to just pause for a second so that y'all can go ahead and gather and put all of that together. You can go ahead and see what is being orchestrated and what he is currently doing right there, right? So now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. As from the previous part 2, I mentioned how Cassie moved to LA so that Diddy could be closer to his kids. And he would utilize a golf cart to go back and forth because she was that close. She also stated that she knew there were cameras in the house and that she was constantly being watched. He always had someone watching her, whether it be staff, whether it be an assistant, or if it was security. She was in contact with one of them each and every single day. The prosecutor then moves on and asks Cassie, how were they able to check into the hotels during these FOs? And she said that they used aliases. And the prosecutor asked her, what were those aliases? That's when she identified that they would either utilize Jackie Star or either Frank Black. Those were the names that were utilized. Then the prosecution moves on to ask Cassie. Y'all, when I pause like this, sometimes I'm trying to find the other words because I see other words that I know that I'm not going to be able to say, right? So I'm just trying to formulate it in my mind. But she said some of the items that were utilized during the FOs, where she would get her outfits from like Fredericks and different things of that nature, but Astroglide, Johnson & Johnson's baby oil, condoms were provided and used all during these FOs. Ooh, I'm sorry. Got to me a little bit. She said and named this one incident. The incident that Cassie referred to was where a FO was taking place and candle wax was involved. She said that the candle wax was poured on her body, and that was done by Diddy in order to set the temperature of the room. She also stated that it was a requirement for her to complete FOs while she was menstruating. It was expected. Cassie went on to speak of another FO that took place with the previous ex-worker that was identified yesterday, Daniel Phillips, where she was urinated on, not only her body, but also within her mouth. And it just wasn't Daniel Phillips, it was also Diddy as well. Both were occurring on both sides. And it was so much to the point where she began to choke, to the point of almost becoming unalived. There was another incident that Cassie spoke on where Diddy made her get into an entire pool of Astroglide with all of her clothes on. She stated that there were times where on average they went through 10 bottles of baby oil. And I'm not talking the regular size ones. It was the giant size. So right now, people are saying that they can't identify the different charges that Diddy is being charged with or being presented. You got solicitation of prostitution, RICO because money was involved, ex trafficking because she's moving across different state lines. So I made a couple more digital notes earlier today just on certain things that I saw. And then also I was told by one of my associates that's currently in or has been in the courthouse throughout this trial. So that's where I get some of the updates, just in case you guys are wondering. But I wanted to, it was one specific comment that Cassie made that really sealed it for me when it came down to how these FOs were being, were happening and where they were going. This will really explain the ex trafficking. So Cassie stated on the witness stand that the FOs took place in Atlanta, LA, Ibiza, that's an international one for the people that don't know, New York, as well as Miami. Cassie just also stated that when they were in New York, the FOs took place at Trump International in New York on 44th Street. She also stated, of course, the names that they utilized and so forth. So that right there, I just wanted to give you that quick tidbit so that we could establish how he has been maneuvering, operating, getting her to go online, find these actual escorts, and having her pay and make all of the transactions there. Cassie also mentioned today while in court that the list of drugs that she would be on and that she would take along with Diddy and the escort sometimes would be Special K, GHB, shrooms, and the rest of the X and everything else. This part is really graphic, guys, so please cover your ears and hold your heart. But there was one FO where she talks about the escort, and the prosecutor asked her what happened after the escort released. And she said she was told to take it off of herself and to massage it into Diddy's chest area. Yes, listen to what I just said. She was made to take the release off of her and to rub it and massage it onto Diddy's chest area. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here because there's another portion that I want to go ahead and tap into. So if you haven't already, please go back and check part 1 and check part 2. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and comment, and make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you guys in the next one.